there could possibly be a Boondocks revival. However, it's just most likely not going to happen for a few potential reasons, according to one of the screenwriters. Rodney Barnes, a writer for the Boondocks, spoke about this recently, and I think a lot of the reasons as to why he believes it's not possible are pretty interesting. Because if some of you guys remember, it was announced back in like 2019 that the show was going to come back, and HBO bought 2 seasons. However, due to slow production and the death of John Witherspoon, the voice actor for Granddad, it just wasn't working out. But while not shutting down the idea, Rodney has completely different reasons as to why he thinks the show just wouldn't work out today. With social media and cancel culture, he just believes that the show would just be too controversial. There's not that much satire these days because people get too upset, and then therefore corporations are too scared to really latch onto the idea. Simply put, it's just really hard to get away with satire because a lot of people just aren't patient enough to see the bigger picture, and before you can even make your point, you already have corporate down your throat. And to be honest, I do see where he's coming from a practicality standpoint. He's not saying that he's afraid of covering these issues and what the backlash will be per se. He's just saying that the corporations, production studios, and executives absolutely care because it is their bottom line. However, it is important to realize why so many people want a revival so much, simply because it is extremely, extremely relevant today. Everything from social economic inequality to LGBTQ issues, the commentary on the new wave of white supremacy and alt-right ideologies, and reflection of actions of the black community from the perspective of black people, these are all topics that are really relevant today. If the Boondocks was being made today, there is so much material that they could work with that these writers would never have to work another gig ever again. And I honestly think if the writers are able to keep their original intention in mind, I do think it will come across well with audiences. Because this is one of the few shows that we can actually trust with the writers who are insightful enough to get something meaningful across and make the satire understandable. But do you think a Boondocks revival is possible? And if so, would you want it?